In this second introduction to Empty Epsilon scenario writing, I answer the question, where do you get information about player spaceship and order roaming? Well, let me tell you, it comes from the script reference document. You can find this .html document in your Empty Epsilon installation. Now, when you open it up, you see this stuff at the top, and it tells you this is not to help you script per se. You should check the website, and you should look at the existing scenarios to get ideas. So if you look at the website and you click on the mission scripting button, you'll see there's actually a tutorial, kind of like what I'm going through, where it takes you through how to write a scenario. They talk about the tools you should use, basically a text editor. They give you a starting scenario file, and it kind of looks like what I've already done with you. And they tell you about naming the file and some of the other things. Now, there's some other things in the script that we've written so far, like Atlantis and Adder Mark V. Where do you find those? Well, we showed you the starfighters.lua, and you can find this, and you see there's a bunch of things in there. You can find this also in your installation. You just have to hunt for it. It's under the scripts folder. I think these have moved to their own folder. You can see in the corvette.lua file that the Atlantis is there. So this is where you can get more information about this. Let's place our player spaceship somewhere other than the default location. We'll move him 10,000 away, which is going to be diagonally away from the default location. We'll save, we'll run. We, of course, again, start server, go to development, choose the intro, start the scenario, and if we look at the game master screen, you can see the player ship is no longer right on top of the enemy ship that we got spawned. Now, this is a pretty blank screen. If we wanted to add some stuff, you can do that. You see I did create, and then I chose asteroid, and now I'm just clicking on the screen just to add some asteroids, just to make it a little harder for that enemy to approach us directly. You notice when I place those asteroids, that little line that connects, that's sort of telling you where he's trying to find the path to where he's supposed to go. Let's add a couple of nebulas so that it's harder to see those asteroids. And let's even be meaner, and let's put some mines in that nebula as well, so that the unsuspecting player or the unsuspecting CPU-controlled ship may run over a mine if they're not paying close attention. Let us put in a station for us. Put a huge station nearby. That's a human Navy station. And let's put in a Kraylor station as well that they can use as their base. And let's put some protection around the Kraylor base. Let's see, we need some defense platforms. So we'll select defense platform, we'll zoom in, and we'll put them close around the station. And let's just zoom in so we can see the arcs, see if they cover it. Yeah, I think we're good. So that should protect the station from nasty players who want to blow up the enemy station. Let's put some more Kraylor ships out there. Well, no, let's put some stations out there first. Now, these are independent stations, so they're sort of as color. That, by the way, Kraylors are not enemies to independents, so we can safely put those independent stations around Kraylor and know that the Kraylor ships aren't going to shoot those because they're neutral to each other, just like they're neutral to us. Independent faction is generally neutral to everyone. All right, now let's add some Kraylor ships. Let's just put some more adders out there. Bink, 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 bink. Yeah, I'm adding my own sound effects. One of the things you can do on that GM screen is you can give directions to ships. So I'm going to select a ship, and I'm going to click on the station. And you see the orders in the upper right-hand corner change to dock. Now, if I right-click on the station, see the order change to defend target. So you can actually direct the enemies on the fly with mouse clicks. I'm not going to cover that in depth, but those are some of the basics that you might want to do if you are GMing a scenario. You can just select one and you can see what their orders are. Like the one I just selected, his orders are roaming. Now, I did all this work. I want to stick this in the scenario, this button right here, copy scenario. takes all the stuff that I just did and puts it in the clipboard as text. Now I'm going to go back to the scenario that I'm writing, and I don't like the stuff to just be in there raw, so I'm going to create a function where I'll put this code that I just got from the GM screen and have it get executed as part of the initialization. So creating a function called construct environment, and then I'm going to just paste in all this stuff. There it all is. That's all the stuff that I just, used my mouse to create over in the GM screen. So let's save this and run it and see if the system remembered everything that I put out there. So start, development, intro, start scenario. Oh, we have an error. And this brings up another opportunity here. If you hit the tick mark, which is for the US keyboard, it's in the upper left-hand corner, just below the tilde, you can see the console. And it showed an error. I got the line number out of there. It's line 67. Oh, look at that. Order, doc, and it's got a question mark in there. So remember those orders that we gave to those ships? It's trying to recall those, but it didn't get the information about where to either dock or to defend target. So we're just going to switch those back to order roaming, take the question mark out. That should correct the error. I'm glad this came up because you'll need to know this if you add your own ships and how to correct it if you put something in there and it gives you those errors. Notice we have 2 player ships, and that's because it picked up the player ship that we had done, plus we already had some in there. So you see, it's got all the stuff we did, and the ships default to roaming, and they're going after the player. That is the end.